Mid's Pursuit Party Season 3 Qualifiers. A lot of suspense, a lot of anticipation from all the fans and the teams. 20 teams will battle for 12 qualification spots. 12 teams that did not auto-qualify last season, 4 teams that failed to qualify last season, and 4 brand new teams. As we start up with the first event here, balancing. An absolute classic in Mid's Pursuit Party. So you see the beam here. Goes up to 80, 90 if you finish. You saw it in the friendly round. Chartreuse Sellers will start us off in a bit, as we are ready to go here. So here they go, Chartreuse Sellers. Got 5th place last season, narrowly missed auto qualification. A lot of pressure for them to take it in. Let's see how they will do. And it looks very good here actually. 2 finishers. Wow. Chartreuse Sellers leaving a great first impression. They convert the pressure like a duck to water. 314 is a phenomenal score, beating everyone in the qualifiers. Chartreuse Sellers are making a statement in just the first round of the qualifiers. How about the Doors? They have perhaps more pressure than anyone to make it through. They are former champions in the qualifiers for the first time, and they do very well. 2 finishers. Doorknobs are very good at balancing statistically, 2nd and 4th, so it's not a surprise. 2 to the end. Do they beat the Chartreuse Sellers though? It's all about this other 2 marbles. They don't. 298, but that's still an amazing run by the Doorknobs, and I'm sure they'll be happy with it. Ballistic Bottles will be next. A new team from last season finished in a solid 7th place. How will they fare here? And it looks pretty consistent. One of them will make it to the end. And it was pretty decent here. Not going to stand up to those first 2 runs, but nothing too bad. So I think the Ballistic Bottles can be decently happy with this. 246 is a pretty decent score. Next up will be the Firefighters. They are pretty bad at balancing. They did get 8th last season, which was a significant improvement over their 16th in Season 1. Let's see how this goes here. And it's not going to be good, which is nothing out of the ordinary for the Firefighters. But still, they're really going to hope that they can turn it on in the later events. 200 is well behind the others. And that's not very good. Flag Attacks will go next. They are also in the first of qualifiers. 30 Season 1. They fell off a bit last season. I'll just go for them here. And again, it's not that good. Flying Attacks perhaps having to adjust here. Perhaps falling under the pressure. Balancing has never been their greatest event. 206, it is barely ahead of the Firefighters. But that's all they can say right now. Space Valiants, they are also making their first qualifying appearance. 4th in Season 1. 10th last season. Very good at balancing. Have podium both times it was here. And it looks pretty good. Will that one finish? It will. That left us in suspense there. Teetering on the edge there. It was like, was it going to finish? And it just grabbed enough momentum to carry into the bin. 246, that will put them in 3rd place. A pretty solid run for Face Valiants. Still a far cry from those first ones though. Nemesis Neons, the winners of the Season 2 qualifiers, only managed 11th place overall though. Pretty mediocre team on the whole. Oh, and this was an awful run. That was paltry from the Nemesis Neons. Everyone gets off right away. 163, that is absolutely terrible, and that puts them in a comfortable last place. Nemesis Neons are not going to be happy about that. Rollblazers are feeling pretty lucky to follow that up. They don't have a high mark to beat. They were Season 2 newcomers, but only managed 12th. And this looks alright. That one marble there stopped their momentum. Seemed like they ran out of energy, but it will still be not too bad of a run overall. It's easily better than the Neons. 229. Right in the middle of the pack in 5th. That's not too bad for them. Let's kind of describe their last season on the whole. Crackle App will go next. Had a major fall off last season from 5th in Season 1 to 13th. And it looks... They don't quite get that one to the end, but it didn't look too bad. 2 marbles did lose very early. Then one of them on the later part, but then one marble nearly finished. That'll be an 80 for them. 236 is alright. That puts them in 5th, right in the middle of the pack. Now the Swallow, speaking of fallouts, they went from 2nd to 14th between the 2 seasons. They really hope to do well here in qualifying. They're also in the first qualifiers, but it does not look very good for them. Swallow also have never been the greatest at balancing. The Swallow really have to get something going here if they want to make it. 217. They still beat a few teams, but it still is not the ideal score. Tectonic Shifters now, they are not good at this event. Also, were disappointing last season. They finished 15th after 7th in Season 1. And this looks like a good run. One of them gets to the end. The other 3 all make it pretty far, falling off the near side. And that will be a good run For the first time since the first two, really, that we have had a proper good run. 271 puts them easily in third place, but it's still quite a ways off that top two. But the Tectonic Shifters, they will absolutely take that for an event that is one of the worst statistically. The Qualifiers now in their new uniforms. Let's hope it will help them, because last season they were absolutely dreadful, and this looks not too awful actually. Crashers got dead last in this event last season. 58 points on the whole. It was a complete disaster, but this looks a little bit better. 228. They beat out a few teams. The Qualifiers, I think they'll accept that. The Azure Army now, they also changed their uniforms. Now getting into the teams that failed to qualify last season, they are determined that as ever to make it, and they get 3 marbles relatively far, but the final marble chokes it. They were going to finish, but just stopped and fell out of the bin. That's gonna sting for the Azure Army, but they still have a pretty solid run. It's 240, putting them in 7th place. That's right in the middle. A pretty decent run for the Azure Army, who really want to make it back. Press Paradise now, another team that falls in the same boat as them. Mediocre season 1, failed to qualify last season. How does this go? They get 1 finisher, but it doesn't look too impressive from the other 3. Inconsistent, but that finisher does salvage it. Let's see where it plays. 8th, 231 is not great, but it certainly could be a lot worse. Team Submarine will be next. They perhaps more than any other team want to make it. They failed last season, and that was their first appearance. This is only the second time that Team Submarine is on camera, and it's gonna be a good run. 1 finisher, 1 other that makes it pretty far. Team Submarine have put themselves in a good situation here. They're going to be very happy about that 4th place provisionally. Team Submarine have never placed this high in their career, I'd imagine. 252, that is. Perilous Pancakes, now they're also motivated. They got invited to a side comp, and now they want to represent this comp in the main league. And they're doing a great job so far. 2 finishers for the first time since the Doorknobs. We might finally see a run dethrone those first 2. Perilous Pancakes, they did get bronze in this event season 1, so it's not a complete surprise. 281. That's very good. It still doesn't beat those first 2 runs, but it puts them in 3rd place. And now getting on to the new teams, the B Roots, the first one, the first purple team in Miss Pursuit Party. Let's see how they'll do. They're holding on very well so far, and they also get another 2 finishers, with another one going a lot further. This could challenge for the top as well. His first 2 runs really have been undefeated ever since, but it's good enough for 2nd place, 300 flat. They still fall short of the charge themselves, but the B Roots, a fantastic opening event showing, and they will take it. How will the Dahlia Gala follow up with that? Dahlia Gala, another new team, and 2 of them lose very early, but the other 2 will both make it to the end. A pretty decent run, but it is going to be inconsistent on the whole, because they had those 2 fall very early. The other 2, great effort though, to both make it 239. It was only 10th actually. What could have been in those first 2 miles didn't fall off very early. The Mantis Melodies will be the next runner, hoping to qualify. Another new team, and they have 2 lose fairly quickly. One of them nearly makes it to the end, but does fall out of it. And it's not going to be the greatest run, but still not too awful, I reckon. Went to the end. 232 in 12th place. It's not the worst, but it is less than ideal for the Mantis Melodies. A final new team will be the Mystic Mamas. Let's see how they will fare in those qualifiers. Having a big run to stack up to, and it's not going to touch that, but it will be pretty solid. 1 marble finishes, and the other 4 pretty spread out, but it is going to be a pretty decent run. 245, putting them in 9th. A solid start by the Mystic Moms, but it is the Charge with Suns who will win this first then. From 1-1, they held on all the way to the end. Beavers and Doorknobs will round at the so-called podium, and the Perilous Pancakes come in 4th. Everyone down to the Crackle Lab starts off provisionally in the qualification zone. So these other 8 teams have some more to do, but there's a lot of time left. Still 3 events, so anything can still happen. As we head to our next event now, the distance drag, just like we saw in the friendly round, but it's going to be a lot more exciting this time. 5 heats instead of just 1, and it's all about the distances compared to, so teams only have 1 shot to not miss their chance to blow. We'll see how they fare here in the distance drag. As in our first heat, we have the Firefighters, Nemesis Neos, Crack Lab, and Perilous Pancakes. Heat, Lumen, Paper, and Breakfast in this heat. Let's see how it goes. As they go down, the final Firefighters are the first one to drop to the second one. And the Nemesis Neons will go down first, but in the distance, Perilous Pancakes will fall short of them, as the Firefighters will get past everyone. How about the Crank Lab? And they'll bump the Nemesis Neons forward, helping them. They'll stop at the Crank Lab, who still go further than the Perilous Pancakes. But there's a lot of bumping in this event, which we didn't really see in the friendly round, but it's likely that we're going to see a lot more of it here and in the main league, of course. The Firefighters did get up ahead. The Crank Lab bumped the Nemesis Neons into the Firefighters, helping the Nemesis Neon, but the Firefighters do win the heat regardless. 110.4 is a pretty good distance, followed by 108.5. Let's see how they stack up among the rest of the field. Chartreuse Sellers, Veins of Valiance, Kelp Crashers, and Mystic Mamas will be in our next heat. And off they go. Kelp Crashers will fall to the funnel first, then it's the Chartreuse Sellers. So everyone's in that funnel now. Chartreuse Sellers go through, followed by the Mystic Mamas, and the Chartreuse Sellers will go much further than them. Kelp Crashers will actually settle behind the Mystic Mamas. And the Veins of Valiance actually do the worst in this time, but the Chartreuse Sellers are leaving absolutely nothing up to chance in these qualifiers. They've done very well so far, winning the first event and looking out to a very good distance here. Chartreuse Sellers are not taking anything in doubt. They want to qualify and they're making a name for themselves. 114.4 is a phenomenal distance. The other three, however, are the bottom three right now. That's not very good. It's the Ballistic Bottles, Flag Attacks, Press of Paradise, and Mantis Melodies will make up our third heat of the lot. And off they go. As the Mantis Melodies will go down first, followed by the Flag Attacks. But who will be the first team out of the plane? It is the Flag Attacks who go very, very far, almost to the end. Mantis Melodies, they will come up short. So who will go next? It's the Press of Paradise. When they nearly matched the Flag. Actually, who won that? Who won between the Flag Attacks, Press of Paradise, and the Ballistic Bottles? Weren't even there. They fell off the track. Just like Morning Mealtime did in the friendly round. Very poor for the Ballistic Bottles. But who wins the heat? Flag Attacks and Press of Paradise, both with phenomenal distances. Oh, I feel like that might be a trick of the camera there. Yeah, that's the Flag Attacks who do win by nearly a centimeter. But it's 1 and 2 for these teams. Very good for them. They both needed it very much. Doorknobs, Tectonic Shifters, Team Submarine, and Dahlia Gala will be in our next heat. Tectonic Shifters and Doorknobs actually got top 2 in the Drag Bounce in Season 1, which is most comparable to this event. But Team Submarine goes down first. And they will block the Doorknobs, which is something you wouldn't see every day. Dahlia Gala will also settle behind them. They give them a bump. And the Tectonic Shifters bump the Dahlia Gala. But all 4 teams in this heat are extremely close. This is pretty insane. All 4 of them pretty close. I don't think any of them did particularly incredible. But nothing too bad either. As there you see Tectonic Shifters bumping the Dahlia Gala into second place, which didn't matter. No one could get past Team Submarine though. It's 5th, 7th, 9th, and 10th. It's close. None of them doing particularly well. It's in the upper mid pack generally. As our final heat will feature the Real Blazers, Swirly Pops, the Zoro Army, and B-Roots. And off they go. Going down the first funnel. Swirly Pops goes down first, followed by Zoro Army. Let's see. The Zoro Army go down first. They go very far. And some of the B-Roots, but they will settle behind them. Real Blazers fall short. How about the Swirly Pops, who they will bump the Real Blazers? That helps them a bit. But it's extremely good for the Azor Army and B-Roots. Did they just beat the Flag Attacks? Well, the B-Roots won't, because they will settle behind the Azor Army. But the Azor Army might just take it first here. That's very good for a team that did not qualify last season. But it's not enough. They go into 3rd place and the B-Roots in 4th. Real Blazers solidly in 7th and the Swirly Pops in 16th. As this the Flag Attacks, Press Paradise, and the Azor Army. Flag Attacks were in 18th before this. The other two both failed to qualify last season. Very good forms here. B-Roots and Charles Sellers in 4th and 5th. They were top 2 in event 1. Doing very well in the qualifiers so far. As they hold the top 2. But behind that it's close. 28, 27, 26, 26, 26. It's extremely close as the 3 medalists jump into the top 5 with big leaps. A lot of drops too. Like Veins of Valiance drop 8. Ballistic Bottles 9. It's close though at the bottom. And no one is done yet. So we have to do the Gravitrax Pursuit now. Our 3rd event of the qualifiers. This is the make or break event. You have to do well here, or else you're going to be in a lot of pressure for the final event. Well, some teams don't need to do that well, but it's important that you succeed in these events. As we're halfway done, any team can still make a move, but now this is the time to do it. Veins of Valiance, the Tectonic Shifters, Chartreuse Sellers, and Perilous Pancakes will start off this event. Perilous Pancakes have a marble out in front. Chartreuse Sellers up there. Tectonic Shifters trying to get involved, but it's going to be top 2 for the Perilous Pancakes. A great run by them. None of the others were that bad either. Tectonic Shifters a bad run for them. They were the bottom 2, but the Perilous Pancakes definitely going to be topping this one. They're also looking pretty decent. They were great in bouncing, struggled in the last event, but they're standing up to their own here. Veins of Valiance and Tectonic Shifters definitely lagging off the back of Chartreuse Sellers once again do pretty well, but it's 48 for the Perilous Pancakes. It's a great benchmark. That's 37, 32, and 19 for the other three. B-Roots, Crashers, Nemesis Neons, and the Doorknobs will be in our next heat. And off they go. As the Nemesis Neons take an early lead. Crashers getting involved there. And then it goes back to the Nemesis Neons. They also get top 2. And the other two do decently. And the Crashers really fell off in that heat. Although the Crashers also had one get stuck right out of the gate. That's not very good. That is good here for the Nemesis Neons. B-Roots also did pretty solid. Again, Doorknobs in the middle of the pack there. Let's see how this will stack up. Nemesis Neons with a 50. They beat the Perilous Pancakes. B-Roots in addition to third. Doorknobs going to 6. Crashers in last. Third heat. Azure Army, Rail Blazers, Dahlia Gala, and Ballistic Bottles. How will these teams stack up? Ballistic Bottles take an early lead with one of the marbles. Oh, but the marble gets stuck. Azure Army get by. They get the win. But it's going to be a close heat. None of the teams seem to be particularly amazing. Azure Army definitely the best though. And Azure Army are looking very good, especially after that great result in the last event to qualify after not making it last season. The other three are extremely close. The Railblades have 2 off the back, but they also have 2 near the front. Ballistic Bottles, inconsistent all around. As the Azure Army go into third, the other 3 are separated by just 3 points. It's extremely close. Crackle Lab, Firefighters, Mantis Melodies, and Present Paradise will be in the 4th heat. A very colorful heat we got here. The Crackle Lab have a marble out in front, and they'll breeze by easily win it. As there's the Present Paradise, then a lot of Mantis Melodies and Firefighters. The Crackle Lab and Present Paradise have the top 2, but behind that it was all Mantis Melodies and Firefighters. So not really consistent from this first 2, but the other 2 all the more consistent, but no one really doing amazing here. Yeah, look at that. Crackle Lab, Present Paradise all off to the back. Let's see. Mantis Melodies will go into 4th with 43, Firefighters in 5th. Crackle Lab and Present Paradise 13th and 14th. That's one more heat to go. Flag Attack, Swirling Pulse, the Submarine, and the Mystic Mamas here. Here they go. As the Flag Attacks take a great lead there. They have 2 out in front, and they'll have both of them. And the third one also comes across quickly. Flag Attacks might stake their claim for a back-to-back win in the qualifiers. Team Submarine and the Mystic Mamas are a little tough to tell apart, but I think Team Mystic Mamas had some pretty good ones. You saw Present Paradise Marble being stuck there, but they didn't hinder it anyone else, so the stewards will call it fair game. Swirling Pulse did not have a good one here. And the Flag Attacks will win the event with a 53. And the Mystic Mamas go into 7th with a 40. Team Submarine and Swirling Pulse are both bottom 4 with the Flag Attacks. The second straight win, they're looking very good. Nemesis Neons, great recovery for them and the Perilous Pancakes. Then it's the Azure Army, Mantis Melodies, and Firefighters rounding off the top 6. How are the standings looking? Which is one event to go. Flag Attacks jump to the top, and they, alongside the Charge Cells and B-Roots, are guaranteed to qualify. As we see some other big moves, the Nemesis Neons jump 11 spots into the qualification zone. Dahlia Gala, Titanic Hits, and Railways have fallen out of it. At the bottom, Swirling Pulse and Calcrash need a miracle to qualify, but it is not impossible if results go the right way in the final event, the Elimination Race. This is it. The last chance to qualify. All 20 miles going to be on the field. It is going to be an all-out brawl for qualification. Only one rule. Don't be last. That is literally it. It's going to be so much pressure, so much tension with this for our final qualification fitness. Here you see all the competitors that will be sent out to the event. All of them are going to give it their all to try and make their team qualify. All 20 of them line up in the gate, ready to start this event. And off they go. Oh, the Nemesis Neons! The Nemesis Neons have already gone stuck! Oh, and that is catastrophic for them. It happened instantly within the first few hexagons. Nemesis Neon. Oh, that is... They were in the qualification zone, but they were not safe particularly. It's all about the teams behind them. It's all about getting good feeds, but Nemesis Neons are going to get a goose egg here. Oh, and that is really, really bad for them. Nemesis Neons going to hope that the other results check out the way. They need the teams behind them to go out and fast. We headed to the second round now. Everyone gets away a bit more cleanly this time. Crash right near the back. Now it's the Azure Army. Last near the Dahlia Gala. But it will be the Azure Army who go out. Azure Army were sitting very high up in the stands, though not quite clinched. They needed a miracle to miss out. I believe part of that miracle involved the Nemesis Neons doing better than them, which we know won't happen. So I think the Azure Army can breathe a sigh of relief anyway, knowing that they'll make it. And they break their drought, and they redeem themselves for the failure of last time. On to round 3 now. 18 marbles left. And one of them is stuck there. That's the Perilous Pancakes, I think. The Perilous Pancakes have gone stuck. That's also detrimental. They were also sitting in the qualification zone. and a bit more comfortable than the NEMS Neons. They also place a bit higher, but it's still not exactly safe. They can very much still be sent down here. Pals Paintings, they don't want this. They're going to be anxiously awaiting, sweating bullets to see if they can qualify. They so desperately want to make it. Of course, all of these teams do. Just going to wait and see. Round 4 now. As the Railblazers start off struggling. Mantis Melodies are back there, as are the Beetroots. Now flag attacks. Oh, the Kelp Crashers have gone stuck, and that's going to be the end for them. Kelp Crashers were sitting in the bottom. Have been awful in the qualifiers, and they were rounded up with a bad finish. Kelp Crashers are not going to be qualifying. And maybe it's for the better for them, because of how dreadful they were last season. But the Kelp Crashers are going to be going down. As the captain goes out here. It's been a disastrous showing for the Kelp Crashers, so they will be out. There's now 60 miles left, the equivalent of the main league elimination race. As they're off, Dahlia Gala are out in the back right now, as are, I believe, the Mystic Mamas. But the Mystic Mamas make a pass there, and Dahlia Gala will go out. Dahlia Gala, one of the newcomers, who are sitting near the bubble, and they're only going to get 4 points. That's going to surely put a dent to their chance of qualifying. In fact, they might not even be able to make it at this point. It's going to be a disastrous finish for Dahlia Gala. They could be in a whole heap of trouble here. 15 miles left. We're going to have to wait and see how everything shakes out. Present Paradise. And the back now is the Tectonic Shifters back there. Mantis Melodies. Oh, someone else got stuck. Who is that? That's a Dark Marble. I think that's the Beetroots. And that does not really matter. The Beetroots have qualified already, so we can breathe a sigh of relief for this round. But the Beetroots, they will go out. Could have played for pride a little bit to win the qualifiers, but they will accept it. They are going to make it to the main league. They even send the reserve out for this event, so really experimenting here. They will qualify anyway. 14 miles left. A lot of them still hoping to qualify. Doorknobs in the back right now. The former champions, they want anything but missing out. But they shove aside the Railblazers there, and the Railblazers go out. Railblazers also were sitting near that bubble, and are only going to get 6 points. Not sure if they were inside of the qualification zone, but if they were not, that's going to be really, really bad for them. Near that mid-pack station, the most valuable marble of last season. Can't get it done here, past cracking under the pressure. Because there's just so much pressure to this event. 30 minutes still left. All sweating bullets, I'd imagine, but also teams from the sidelines, also sweating bullets. Flag tags near the back, they are not sweating at all. Swirling pass down there, but it's Team Submarine now. Another team that will definitely be sweating. They were all sitting right near that cutoff. I think they were higher up than the Railblazers, but they still desperately want to make it. They failed last season. That was all they got. They don't want to fail again here and be once again forced out to sit out the whole season. But they're going to have to hope that this 13 will suffice and be enough. They're going to have to wait from the sidelines. 12 marbles left now. At this point, it's not exactly a bad finish if you go out, but something still need much more than it. Ballistic Bottles in the back right now. They get stuck on the hexagon. Ballistic Bottles will go out. Our third straight Season 2 newcomer to go out. It means all 3 of them have gone out in a row. He's the 4th one. He was in the friendly round. The Ballistic Bottles were also in that mid-pack. It's really, it's going to be close. We're going to have an intense result for these qualifiers. So, 11 marbles left now to decide the final bottom half spot. Here we go again. Swirling pops near the back, as are the Chartreuse Sullens as well. Tectonic Shifters getting back there. And the Chartreuse Sullens shove aside the Tectonic Shifters. Tectonic Shifters will also go out. And this might be tricky for them. Not sure if they were inside of the zone, but it's going to be 11th. It's not a bad finish. Tectonic Shifters might make it back, but it's very much dependent on the other results. Subduction in 11th. It's going to have to hope that it'll be enough. 10 marbles left now. Top half finish. All of these marbles have at least a decent finish, but some of them need much more than a decent finish. Firefighters in the back now. And now switches to the Mystic Mamas. Fighting with the Mantis Melodies, another new team, but the Mystic Mamas will go out. And we're relatively far behind, but the Mystic Mamas were also sitting next to that cutoff. We're eliminating so many teams in that mid-pack. The Mystic Mamas, is it going to be enough? I feel like the others might have shook out just the right way to the point where they might still sneak in. But they also do still need some luck, I believe, with the remaining marbles. 9 of them left now. Where do we go from here? Doorknobs in the back, as are the Chartreuse Sullens now. They get behind the flag attacks there. These top 2 of the qualifiers. And the Chartreuse Sullens will be out. After some fighting with the flag attacks, Chartreuse Sullens, it obviously does not matter. But they were playing for pride here with the flag attacks. For the win in the qualifiers, which I think the flag attacks might have locked in now. Because of everyone else behind them is not eliminated. But the Chartreuse Sullens will take 9th. They will qualify for the main league, as we already know. 8 marbles left. Some of the marbles starting to feel comfortable. Some of them still need a good finish. Firefighters in the back. Now it's the Crayon Collab. Crag 2-time winners of this event in the first 2 seasons, but they shoved by the Present Paradise. I think the Present Paradise should still be okay though. They were sitting decently, and they are going to get a solid finish here. I think the Present Paradise will be back in the main league after also failing to qualify that one time. Gift goes out in 8th, but Miners just gifted their team qualification with that. 7 marbles left. How does it go from here? Doorknobs in the back again. They are in the back a lot. Now it's the fly attacks in the back. They cannot make the impact. They'll go out in 7th. In style, might I add, because they've been amazing in these qualifiers. And I think they're going to win in flag attacks. More than happy to get eliminated here. In their first qualifiers, they qualify. And it was not even close. Proud. He's very proud of the team, I'd imagine. And the team is also proud of them. 6 marbles left now. Some of them really need a good result. Others, not so much really. As the Veins Valens in last. They are one of those teams that really needs the good result. But now they shove aside. And the Mantis Melodies go out. Mantis Melodies are one of the new teams, and they were sitting decent. They were sitting a bit ahead of the cutoff, and they will get 6th place, so I think they're going to qualify. I think the Mantis Melodies have successfully qualified in the first time. Buggy nets them a solid finish. Mantis Melodies breathing a sigh of relief. 5 marbles left, and it's all Season 1 originals from this point on. And it's again the Doorknobs fall to the back, but the Doorknobs don't have much to worry about anymore. Veins Valiants do though, but they get by the Firefighters. Firefighters will go out next. And the Firefighters were in a very similar position as the Mantis Melodies. I think they should also qualify. So the Firefighters, not much to worry about. They should keep up the perfect attendance. Phoenix, the marble that got 2nd in this event last season, will climb a 5th now. But the Firefighters, they'll be happy about it. They're going to the main league. So 4 of them left. 3 of them really need it. The Doorknobs are the only ones that don't really need a great finish here. There's the Cranklab out on last. Cranklab have been undefeated in this event, but they will be defeated here. And they will get 4th. Will it be enough? Cranklab, we're sitting in the relegation zone. But are they going to come all the way up to qualification with this? It's a great finish for sure. But it's all to see if it'll be enough. Some of the other teams could also mess this up for them. So the Doorknobs are really just to play spoiler. But they could not think of 2 better teams to play spoiler against. It's the 2 main rivals from Season 1. All 3 of those teams auto-qualified for Season 2. All in the first qualifiers. Hoping to qualify here. Veins Valiants in the back. Veins Valiants out. Veins Valiants will get 3rd. It still might well be enough. They were also sitting down there with the Cranklab, but they will place higher than them. Will the Veins Valiants make it? I think their chances are pretty decent, but there's nothing to guarantee in these qualifiers. So many teams sitting on the sideline, as it's a full circle moment here. Doorknobs and Swirlypops. A classic rivalry from Season 1. Doorknobs take the early lead. But the Swirlypops shove by. Swirlypops down to the end. They will win the event. And the Swirlypops have done all that they can to try and qualify, but they were sitting very bad before this. They needed a miracle, but this might be the miracle. Doorknobs will qualify for sure. They were sitting decent and are finishing in 2nd. They will make it after winning Season 1. But how about the others? 3rd and 4th. Veins Valiants, Cranklab. It's critical finish for them. A lot of teams behind them don't really need to worry, but it's also teams like Mystic Mama, Tectonic Shifters, Ballistic Bounce Team Submarine, also cutting it close. Rail Blazers too. It's all of those teams. It's all to play for in the qualifiers. But let's look at the podium first. Flag Attacks, Chartu Summers, and Doorknobs. Well done to these teams. 2 podium finishes from Season 1, making it easily back. And the Chartu Summers will podium for the 2nd time in a row in the qualifiers. But who are the other 9 teams that have made it? It's the B-Roots, Azure Army, Mantis Melodies, Firefighters, Present Paradise, Veins Valiants, Perilous Penguins, Mystic Mamas, and Team Submarine will do it. Cranklab fall just short. If they had survived one more round, they would have made it. But it just isn't enough. Swirlypops were doomed to fail, even when the gold wasn't enough. Nemesis Neons, dare me, they fall 9. Dolly Gala drops 6. Catastrophic fails for some of these. Kelp Crashers, well, I guess that is the Kelp Crashers we know. But congratulations to every single team that has made it. We will see you in the main league. Thank you for watching, and of course, never forget to keep on spinning.